Jacob, come to you to talk to you about conflicts, and specifically conflicts in the workplace. Conflicts are just a part of life. They're always going to be there. They're always going to present themselves, and there's really not much we can do to make them disappear. There's only certain things we can do to, help reduce how often they appear, and better ways to resolve them when they do appear. I believe that when there are people, there will be conflicts. We have our own beliefs, our own opinions, and we like to do things our way, and that's okay. But with that, there will always be tension and conflicts. So, employees in U.S. companies spend approximately 2.8 hours each week involved in a conflict. That's throughout the U.S. and each week, spread out over 52 weeks, so 2.8 hours each week. And that is absolutely mind-boggling to me, that each person working in the U.S., part of the labor force, spends that much time, almost 3 hours a week, involved in some sort of conflict. And that amount of time adds up to over $350 billion in paid hours over the course of a year, over 52 weeks. And that is in itself is crazy to me, that people, we're so used to conflicts that is just part of our work, part of our normal life. So workplace conflicts, just like any other conflict, has no good outcome. There's nothing good that can come from a conflict. Conflicts between coworkers have negative effects on relationships, productivity, but it can be combated by incorporating these few things that I believe can make the world of difference. First being teamwork. Second, having the proper attitude when communicating. Third, holding weekly stress release meetings. Conflicts between humans are inevitable, as I said, but let's begin looking at some ways we can prevent them. First, as I said earlier, teamwork. Teamwork is one of the very first lessons we learned as kids. It's instilled in us from a very young age. From school to sports to family to church, anything, any part of your life when you're young, it's teamwork. You do things in groups, as pairs. Seldom you're by yourself. And I think that has a strong meaning behind it. It's not by accident. People who play in the school system or the church or sports, they know what they're doing. It's to benefit these young kids, and I think it stays with us our whole life. There's an aspect of that will never go away. Like I said, it'll always be a part of us as a person, our teamwork and our teamwork abilities. Working together with people, and especially in this case, fellow employees, to complete a common goal will always give us a sense of gratitude and a sense of accomplishment, which is, you can't trade that. The more people work together, the more bonds and friendships are formed. And once again, that is irreplaceable. You can't put a dollar amount on that, because, relationships are what make us us, what make us human. Teamwork results in less conflict due to the ability of it being able to bring participants together. I believe that a lot of people think that, when you work together, when you meet new people, when you're forced to work with them, it often results in a negative outcome. But however, I think that is farthest from the truth, especially in a work sense, because when you're all working at the same common goal, I believe a lot of good comes from that. Relationships, gratitude, anything, you name it. One of the main focal points of teamwork is attitude. When you're a little kid on a baseball team, you have to have a good attitude and be a good team player. They go hand in hand. Anyone who played any sort of young age sport knows that. So not just communication though. Not just attitude, but attitude while communicating. Communication is key, but not just communicating. You have to have the proper attitude when communicating, especially when there is an event that occurs that is high intensity, say an argument, a fight breaks out. Having the proper attitude, staying calm, even tone, not getting angry, not getting sad, being that even force to dissolve the situation, that goes a long way. So when you address coworkers in a calm tone, I believe that you can ease the situation very rapidly. Because when you approach them too high or too low, they might lean one way or the other, reacting towards it. And I believe that talking negatively to people in general, but especially coworkers, it does no good for anybody. Because like I said earlier, y'all are all working for the same goal, and y'all all have the same tasks, you work hand in hand. So being negative to the people that are doing the same thing as you and helping you achieve your goals, that it doesn't achieve anything. So proper communication can seem stressful to those who are not used to it. And, I think there is a proper way to communicate. You have to communicate thoroughly, but you also have to be even in the mood, not too high, not too low, as I said earlier. And that brings us to the third thing, stress relief meetings. I believe that work is one of the most stressful places you can be as a human, and that is where we spend most of our lives, is at work. We often have tighter friendships and relationships with the people at work than we do at home. And although that might not be the best way to live life, that's how we have to do it. 34% of workplace conflict is caused by stress, according to Psychology Today. Work for most people is nothing but stress. But, most people have no way to relieve it, especially at work. So they just bury that stress and they just keep adding on, and nothing good comes from that. So instead of just burying and burying and burying, I say we build a system all across the United States, all across businesses, just a brief 10-minute meeting every Friday, once a week, just an open air environment that will let people get whatever is on their chest, get it off their chest. Whatever has been stressing them out, whoever made them mad, nobody will get mad, nobody will get their feelings hurt. Just an open air environment to be able to communicate and talk with those you work with. I think that could do a world of good for everybody in the workplace. So now that I have completed what I wanted to say, let's review. So overall, we have discussed conflicts in the workplace. Like I said numerous times, they're inevitable. The 3 methods given to reduce these and try to help them are teamwork, attitude, especially while communicating, and proper stress relief. I hope these methods I have provided can help reduce and resolve the conflicts that are bound to come just because we're human. So next time you're thinking about bucking up or trying to argue with one of your employees or managers, I just hope you remember that nothing good will come from it. So let's get to the poster. Southeastern Freight Lines. That is my place of work. I work on the dock, and I've seen conflicts day and night, every day, especially when there's just hundreds of people working together trying to meet a strict deadline. It is very, very hard to not have conflicts. However, Southeastern Freight Lines does a great job of, allowing employees to communicate with the upper management, to communicate with each other. And it makes a world of a difference just to be able to talk about your conflicts and knowing that you can resolve it without immediate firing. This chart I have over here is different reasons for conflict throughout workplaces, and the highest at 21%, different options about how to perform a task. And some are don't know, workload, performance, everything. Every aspect of work can be a conflict to anybody. you're having a bad day, anything can set you off. So conflicts can come from anything. And once again, I want to reiterate, teamwork, communication, and stress relief. Not stress, I don't